destroy the boat, but it does light it on fire, and it gets you extra horizontal distance every fire tick you take. You manage to get to the other side, and you just pray the guards don't.
I beat Minecraft, but I could trade with every single mob in the game. Here's how I done it. Now, I couldn't trade with any of the hostile mobs to begin with, as they tried to knock me out on sight. Luckily, the farm animals each traded a piece of armor that would trick them into thinking that I was a farm animal. Zombies sold the Zombax, which would send any mob I hit into the stratosphere. Skeletons sold the Skelly Bow, which was essentially a fully automatic weapon. And Creepers sold a Creep Pick, which created a huge explosion every time I mined a block. I also found an Enderman, which traded Ender Pearls and an Enderarm, which let me pick up any block that I looked at. I used this Enderarm to rebuild an abandoned portal. I found a fortress and traded with the Blazes for Blaze Rods, headed back home, and went to Stronghold. I built the portal up and headed in. I waited till the Ender Dragon perched and began trading with her. She was selling a pair of dragon wings. I flew around the towers, destroying each end crystal by hand. Then I unloaded 100 arrows on her with the Skelly Bow.
The best way to find diamonds is really to just kind of mine straight. Oh, hold on. Oh, hold on. There we go. Alright, so, once we get these done, once we can get the, I'm just, honestly, hey!
Oh, hey!
You gonna need a diamond?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah.
I didn't.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, thank you. You got any more?
No, it was just what you saw there.
The best way to find...
Minecraft, but I use an auto-clicker to completely destroy my PC. And we're setting our auto-clicker to a speed of around 1,000 clicks per second. So the first thing we'll be testing is these fireworks, which actually are really satisfying. Next up, we have some splash potions. Oh, that sounds awesome. And finally, we have some bottles of enchanting. Oh, that sounds awesome. Oh, listen to this. Now, to completely destroy my PC, we're just gonna keep spamming these bottles until we just lag out completely. So far, it seems like we're doing pretty good. We're not losing that many frames. We're losing a bit here. Oh, now we've lost a lot of them. I don't know if my computer can handle it. It's just mine.
In this video, my friends and I killed the Ender Dragon, but the egg never spawns. But little did they know, I had it all along. Here's how. This prank would require some preparation. First, I gathered some gas tears and crafted them into end crystals. I then threw an Eye of Ender and went the opposite way to find a different fortress. Traveled the ocean, found the stronghold, spent way too long finding the portal, and then I went to the end. Killed the dragon, easily, collected the egg, covered up the end city gateways, hid all my tracks, put everything and the egg in an ender chest, respawned the dragon, and then died. They didn't suspect a thing. And this brings us to me and my friends being in the end. I'm out of here! We killed the dragon, easily. Where's the egg?
The guy goes to a bar at the top of a skyscraper restaurant. He takes a shot, goes to the balcony.
Nobody listen to me! You may not listen to me!
guess no one's trying to quit smoking nowadays.
Vaping is more popular.
You're probably right. Vaping is quite popular now. There we go.
Should I quit drinking?
Drinking, that's a good one too. Should I quit drinking?
Masturbate low W.
I've seen masturbating come up so many times now. There's no way, I'll type it, but there's no way it pops up in Google. Point proven, there's no way.
Quit college.
College is a good one too. What? How is college and smoking out up there? We got, should I quit my job quiz, my job if I hate it? Should I quit caffeine? Smoking weed. I feel like smoking should have counted under that. Should I quit?
So I'm a fan from Portland SMP for building a beautiful brown tower. I logged into the map and the spawn was quite majestic. However, PvP was enabled and this caused me to enter quite a few fist fights. I proceeded to leave spawn so I could grab the most overpowered weapon, a stone axe. Unfortunately, someone snuck up behind me and assassinated me, taking all my hard work away. So I decided to stop massacring people and instead I was going to build a massive project for the SMP admins. For this project I needed a lot of dirt and this kid named after Herobrine with an Among Us skin decided to help. After we collected 2 stacks of dirt, we proceeded to at the base of our tower near spawn. With these spheres as foundations, we were able to build a long tower at the center. However, we could not finish the project and add finishing touches because we were banned from the SMP. I'm pretty sure the admins got jealous.
Growing up, one of my dad's biggest pet peeves was someone using all of the ice and not refilling the ice trays. The next time I come in here and there's no ice, somebody's gonna get it. Well, one hot summer day, I made myself a glass of water with some ice. Then I got distracted and forgot to refill the ice tray and put it back in the freezer. Several hours later, I went back into the kitchen to get a snack and I seen the ice tray there. All of the leftover ice melted and I just heard the garage. That means my dad is home. I had to think real fast and I got an idea. I refilled the ice tray and put it back in the freezer. Then I went to the breakup panel and turned off the refrigerator. That way my dad is just going to think that the power went out. A few minutes later, my dad was like, "What's wrong with this fridge?" I don't know, maybe the power went out. Or maybe you made the power go out. That way I wouldn't know about you not refilling the ice trays. My goodness, he knows. How did you know, Daddy? Wait a minute, I was just playing. You really did that? Oh, you gonna get it? No.
I just met someone who plays exactly.
Not even.
Growing up, one of my dad's
I just met someone who plays exactly like me. Now watch this. I go to.
Java's better. I'm gonna do Java. I'm gonna play as Java.
It says I'm blind. Just bring me one of
I'm gonna.
at the fork.
No ski bridge. I'm just gonna.
The blind man smells the fork. Yes, we'll have the lamb. Bring vegetables. Thought this was amazing. And smooth. The blind man ate and left. Weeks later, the blind man returns to the restaurant. The waiter wanting to know how good his smell is. Rub it all over your private part. Went to the blind man and gave him the fork. The blind man smells the fork. Oh, interesting. I never knew Brenda worked here. A blind man was at a restaurant. Asked him, would you...
You just died and you wake up in a room. In the room there are 2 gates, one to heaven and one to hell. Each door has a guardian.
The One House SMP is a mess because the stone side and wood side will not stop fighting. You see, I found a man! One House SMP is a mess because the stone side and wood side will not stop fighting. You see, everyone's to live in one house, and as 2020 has shown us, that does not end well. So what do I, the intellectual genius, do when both these sides want to kill each other? That's right, stay neutral. Don't get me wrong, I chose wood because I had to, but staying neutral meant I could stop the stone side from sabotaging with explosives and make fun of the side were blowing themselves up with a sabotage TNT cannon at the same time. Neutrality also meant I could hoard supplies from Woodside while simultaneously testing out a bit of arson. Anyway, the 2 sides finally broke out into a quote-unquote war. But just as I began to enjoy sitting on the sidelines with a bucket of popcorn watching Yajaran get killed over and over again, they stopped the war and signed a peace treaty. So I thought, wow, finally no fighting. What an absolute relief. We can finally get productive and make some progress on the server. Nope, never mind, someone got killed and they're going to war again tomorrow. I hate my... The One House SMP is a mess because the stone...
I found a man who is a human calculator.
Hi, I'm Scott Flansburgh, and I'm faster than any calculator on the planet Earth.
He can add the numbers faster than he can talk, and he never graduated from high school. How did he learn? It all started in 3rd grade when Scott was not listening, so the teacher tried to embarrass him with a hard math problem. But surprisingly, he got it right. And then he got another problem right, and another. Turns out, in that moment, Scott discovered a new way of calculating.
So I just added up the column of numbers going down the columns backwards, and just said the answer out loud, and she was like, "You're right."
And he also discovered that he can teach himself how to become a master calculator. Now he visits schools to show kids that life is not a math problem. There is more than one. Okay, who's ready to have a baby? That would be me. Please, get this thing out of me. I actually have a new system that will relieve your pain while in labor by transferring the pain to the father, if you're up for that.
Oh,
Yeah, okay, fine, just get it over with.
Okay, we'll start off with 20% going to the father then. That's a little better.
Wow, I'm not feeling anything. Turn it up to 40, Doc.
Okay, 140.
Wow, I like this system. I don't feel anything. Excuse me.
Hey, what's up, man? Dude, I feel like I'm passing a kidney stone the size of a watermelon right now.
Dude, you need to get that checked. Turn that to 60, Doc.
Oh, it's getting worse!
Dude, it's getting wet. Turn it to 100, Doc.
A guy walks up to a bar and asks the bartender, "How much for a beer?" The bartender says, "It's free." The guy is really happy and says, "Okay, how much for a sirloin, some mashed potatoes, a salad, and an entire cheesecake for dessert?" The bartender says, $1. The guy says, "Okay, I'll take it all," and the bartender gives him his food. After he's done eating, he says, "Wow, this place is amazing. I'd like to meet the owner." The bartender says, "Oh, he's upstairs in the office with my wife." The guy gets confused and says, "What's he doing upstairs in the office with your wife?" The bartender smiles and says, "The same thing I'm doing to his business." A guy walks up to a bar and asks the
This is why you should always trust your gut. In the early 1970s, a college...
scenes that went horribly wrong. When the evil witch was escaping in The Wizard of Oz, this scene went horribly wrong and you could not believe what happened. The witch's cape actually got stuck on the trap door and the fire heated up her makeup. Her makeup contained copper and she got second-degree burns that lasted weeks. This is the Wonka wash of Willy Wonka. It was used for cleaning the factory with candy foam. Sorry to break it to you, but this wasn't candy foam. This was actually foam from a fire extinguisher. From this, many of the actors got very sick from the Wonka wash. Actually had to cancel the movie for a couple weeks due to illness from the Wonka wash. Olivia Jackson had a terrible wreck while shooting Resident Evil. While filming a scene, Olivia Jackson at high speeds ran into a camera, and this scene caused life-threatening damages to Olivia Jackson. After this accident, her arm had to be amputated. She also has spinal injuries and many broken bones. While filming Back to the Future, Shay Willers accidentally hit a pillar, and this caused her to fall 30 feet to the ground. And this caused her to have very serious injuries. Then she went on to sue the company. Movie scenes that went horribly.
A man goes to the drugstore to buy some condoms. The pharmacist says the condoms comes in packs of 3, 6, or 9. Which one do you want? I'm dating this really hot girl, so I do need some condoms. And I really think tonight's the night. We're having dinner with her parents, and then we're going out. I really think I'm gonna get lucky. Once she has me, she's gonna want me all the time. So you know what? You better give me the 9-pack. The guy buys the condoms and leaves. Later that night, they all sit down to have dinner, and the man starts praying for several minutes. The girl leans over to him and says, "You never told me you were such a religious person." The man leans over to her and says, "You never told me your dad was a pharmacist." A man goes to the drugstore to buy some. A man escapes prison after 15 years, breaks into a house. He finds a couple in bed, orders the guy out of bed, and ties him to a chair. The escaped prisoner then ties the wife to the bed and jumps on top of her, and it looks like he kissed her, then gets up and goes to the bathroom and closes the door. While he's in the bathroom, the husband whispers over to his wife, "Hey, he's an escaped convict." Holly spent a lot of time in jail and had beaten a woman in here. I saw the way he kissed your neck. Hey, don't resist, don't complain, just go with it. No matter what, this guy is obviously dangerous, and if he's angry, he'll kill us. His wife looks at him, smiles, and says, "He wasn't kissing my neck, he was whispering in my ear. Maybe that he likes men and thinks you're cute, and asked me where the bags were. I told him it was in the wrong, honey."
I'm gonna go in a new server.
Plaza? Oh gosh, not again. Special one. Hey, we seem to be in another bedrock cage. Using only these items can you escape? What is this? Yarr. You have rhyme and you have a leaf. What if I put the leaf under the lava and it will smelt and it will make a hole in the bedrock? Lava can't break bedrock. And what if I
Which is over here. And I just climb up. Oh, I'm stuck!
Almost. With the 32 irons, you can actually smelt it with the 64 oak sapling. So now we wait and stare into each other's eyes. Wait, I forgot to give you a crafting table. Does that give you any more ideas?
I could have escaped with that.
What do you mean? How would you escape with this?
I have no idea.
If you take the iron and you make a cauldron, you can put it under the thingy, and guess what? The lava will drip in. Then with the other iron, you make a bucket, make the fire resistant, and take the bucket and climb your way out.
This is dangerous, Hawks, for one. Hurry up, my fire resistance is working.
Swim
I'm out of here, losers.
4 men are at a high school reunion catching up when one of them had to go to the bathroom. The other 3 start talking about how successful their sons are. My son is so successful. He owns a car dealership and just gave his best friend a Ferrari. That's nothing. My son owns an airliner and just gave his best friend a private jet. Yeah, well, my son is more successful than him. He owns an architectural firm and he just gave his best friend his own castle. The 4th guy comes back from the bathroom and asks, "What are you guys talking about?" "Oh, we're talking about how successful our sons are." "Well, my son is a gay stripper." You must be disappointed with what he's done with his life. Actually, he's doing pretty well for himself. Just got a Ferrari, a jet, and a castle from his 3. 4 men are at a high school reunion.
Crazy laws that only exist in North Korea. In 2013, North Korea's leader made styles allowed. 18.
This is why we can't have nice things.
This is what movies actually look like before adding any special effects to them. In this scene in Guardians of the Galaxy, when Groot was drinking out of the water fountain. Oh, this is how this scene was actually filmed. It looks hilarious. In this scene in Stranger Things, when the van went over the boys on their bikes, behind the scenes, the boys were really never there, and they had to crash the van to make it look realistic. We all know this elephant is the main character playing Dumbo, right? Oh, before adding any special effects to this movie, Dumbo was actually just a man crawling in with arm extensions. Titanic has to be one of the most iconic movies ever, and when the ship started to sink and everyone started to slide down the boat, this is actually how that iconic scene was filmed behind the scenes. In Suicide Squad, when Harley Quinn was locked inside of this cage, this is how this scene looked behind the scenes. There was no special effects needed. This is just good acting. This is what movies actually...
A man dies and goes to hell, and Satan says to him, "I will show you 3 doors and you will choose where you will spend the rest of eternity." The man agrees and Satan takes him to the first door. The man looks inside and sees thousands of people standing on their heads on hardwood floors. The man says, "That looks very uncomfortable. Take me to the second door, please." Satan agrees and takes him to the second door. The man looks inside and sees thousands of people standing on their heads on concrete floors. The man says, "This looks even worse. Show me another room." Satan nods and takes him to the third room. The man looks inside and sees thousands of people standing knee-deep in shit, drinking coffee, and he says, "This is the place for me." Satan says, "Are you sure? Once I close the door, there's no going back." The man says, "I'm positive. I love coffee." The man steps in, and Satan closes the door. Just before the man can get comfortable, a loud voice on the speaker says, "Coffee break is over. Back on your heads." Amanda.
Is there a problem, officer?